Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler V series V's I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about the stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I am excited for this one because, well, it's root beer. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, oh yeah, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And that's not the case today. I actually picked this up a few days ago, over the weekend. I stopped out at a Woodman's, which I don't know that I've ever shopped at a Woodman's before. Maybe, but I certainly don't recall doing so. But I happened to be in the area of one, and I saw the opportunity, and I was like, screw it! So I decided to go over there and look around, see what Woodman's had to offer. It's a supermarket, had a couple somewhat interesting things. But eventually I made my way over to the soda section, as I've been wont to do. And turns out they had some root beer that I hadn't tried before. So, what root beer is it? It happens to be, boom, it is Point Premium Root Beer. Yes, okay. 100% real sugar, real draft style, crafted in Wisconsin. Oh boy. Wisconsin definitely seems to like their root beer, and I like that about you, Wisconsin. You got some good things, you got some bad things about you too, but so does Illinois. So, anyway, let's get a thing for the thing here. It looks like this. We'll kind of just go like this. Ha 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 ha! It's all fancy in a bottle. And yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about this. Like, apparently it's Stevens Point Brewery. The only thing I kind of knew about this, I ended up actually running into my aunt and uncle while I was walking around, and apparently they were familiar with the brewery aspect of it, so the alcohol version of it. Okie doke, let's find out if this is any good. And folks, I do love root beer, so much so that I have an entire playlist called Root Beer Reviews. That is where this review is going to end up. There's a playlist for just root beer reviews. Let's give it a go. It's got a good scent to it. Let's give it a go. Excuse me. That's not an indictment against the root beer. I was working all night and got crap in my throat. That kind of dislodged it. Okay. That's not bad. It's nice. It's a good root beer. So I always mention this. When it comes to commercial root beers, at least here in the United States, there's sort of two camps that they tend to fall under. On the one hand, you have like your Mug and your A&W, which are like very easy root beers to get into. They're sweet, creamy, not, no real harshness to them. They tend to work well for the most people, right? That's why A&W is like easily the most popular root beer in the world. Then on the other side of that, you have like your Barks and your Dads, which are a little bit harsher. They almost have sort of a slight medicinal kind of taste to them. They're not the easiest to get into, but if you're, more of a root beer connoisseur, they might be more your thing. This, I would say, airs more on the side of the A&W and Mug, though it does have some elements to it that I would associate with, again, being more Barks and Dads. It has a nice, rich flavor. It's definitely a very sweet root beer, and it's easy to drink. So again, think those A&W, the Mug. But whereas, like, with especially Mug, Mug was my favorite root beer for a very long time when I was coming up, until I started to kind of expand my palate a little bit. Mug, although it certainly has its place, it's a very sweet root beer with really nothing to it in terms of dimension, or excuse me, or complexity. This has some depth, has a little complexity, not a lot, but there's a little something there. It's nice. It's a good root beer. And you can taste the draft style. It has more of like a head on it. You can actually kind of see. And that is a nice thing. It's a nice quality to have for root beer. So, yeah, I mean, I like it. It's got a nice sort of, a nice slight aftertaste of kind of what I would consider a more sort of root beer taste. So again, kind of, Barks and Dads and stuff like that, where it has a little extra oomph at the end, and I do like that. Gives it a little extra character. Now that said, is this my favorite root beer ever now? No, 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 no. It's a good root beer, but it's not entirely to my personal tastes as a root beer. Like I said, I prefer harsher root beers. Ones that'll really kind of kick you in the teeth with their flavor. This, maybe a slight brush of the shin. Like there's a little something there, but it's not very much. It is more on the side of that, again, sort of creamy and sweet root beers. But I do like the draft aspect of it, and I do like that, there's at least a little depth to it. So it's a good root beer. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes and yes. I think for me personally, I mean, the only place I've seen it is Woodman's. So I presume, I'm sure it's available other places, but at least as far as places around me, I'd probably have to go back to Woodman's to go and get it, which maybe I would at some point. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way for it. Like, it's not, there are some root beers where, yeah, I will go out of my way to get that root beer. Like Dad's, especially Dad's in the glass bottle, I will trek to get that. If that's what I have on my mind, I will go out of my way to get it. Virgil's is another one. This one doesn't fall into that category, but it's a good one. And so I think for me personally, and if I recall correctly, I think for a 4-pack, it was only about $4. So you're talking like $1 a bottle. I could absolutely go over there and make that a thing. Like if I shopped at Woodman's with any regularity, I think so. Like I said, I ran into my aunt and my uncle, and I guess my other aunt and uncle apparently shopped there too. Maybe it's something I could go over there and ask them, just be like, hey, every now and again, if you want to pick me up one, I'll pay you back. But yeah, it's a good root beer. It's not great, but I do like what it's doing, and it's definitely something I'll enjoy finishing. Now, if I'm recommending it, I'm absolutely recommending this because I think that this is one of those root beers where this one would be easy to get into for either side of the equation, whether you are the A&W and Mug or the Bards and the Dads, or somewhere in between. What the fuck ever do? I don't know shit. I'm just coming up with stuff out of my ass. But I think if you are like an A&W and Mug person, you prefer sweeter root beers and stuff, I think this one will work for you. It's got a little extra something to it, but it's nothing crazy. And on the other side of that, if you are somebody who you prefer a little bit of a harder root beer, I think that, this has something to bite your teeth into. It's not going to be anything super memorable for you, but there's enough personality there to make you take note. So, yeah, it's like a solid B+ root beer. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, over there was a truly Wisconsin-tastic rest of your life? I don't know. I've never been to Wisconsin. Well, I think I've been, like, kind of through Wisconsin, or at the very least, like, I'm sure I've been in there, but, like, not to do anything other than just, like, maybe be around it for whatever reason. But, yeah, go Wisconsin. It's supposed to be very pretty. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not only is the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole, trust me, I know it, I live it, I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you ever visited Wisconsin? And if so, what was it like? Was it the thing? Was it filled with root beer and cheese and Green Bay Packers shit? I don't know. Like I said, I've never been to Wisconsin. I do have a friend that lives there. My friend Roger, he lives up in Wisconsin. And I do have friends who go and visit Wisconsin because they're outdoorsy people. I'm not an outdoorsy person. I know it's hard to fucking imagine, but yeah, not a big outdoorsy person. I did enough hiking when I was a kid. I don't need to fucking go outside and do that shit anymore. But, you know, at the same time, hey, I'm sure there's other nice stuff to do in Wisconsin. And apparently they have good root beer. Anyway,